You are abusing Section 50 right now.
I'm not abusing Section 50.
Yes, you
I
are.
require you under
West Yorkshire
Section
Police
50
are going to court
to provide your name and your address.
The audits, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal issues, protect individual rights, and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by Now Yorkshire. Be sure to check out the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Now, also known as Michael, is standing outside a police station filming with a friend when officers arrive and immediately begin reaching for powers they clearly do not fully understand. Details are demanded under Section 50 despite the legal threshold not being met. And when Michael calmly challenges him with the facts, the response is not reflection or reconsideration. It is a threat of arrest. Rather than backing down, Michael does exactly what these officers never expect. He documents everything properly, turns the incident into a civil claim, and places it directly into the hands of H&K solicitors.
Just had reports from some members of the public from the front counter that was feeling a bit harassed. Obviously by you being in and out of the front counter.
We haven't been in and out of the front counter.
Alright, obviously we've got vulnerable victims.
We haven't been in and out of the front counter.
Just let me explain.
No, let me explain. We haven't been
We've
in and
got
out.
vulnerable victims in and out of the police station that are feeling a little bit harassed by you filming around the station. Right, can I just take your name and your address,
I'll
please?
give you my name on one condition.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and I'm replying, I'm saying, you get my name and address on one condition. You take that gang sign off.
What gang sign?
That gang sign there.
That's not relevant to why I'm here, is it? Just get your name and address, please, on Section 50 of the Police Reform Act.
Do you believe that I'm committing antisocial behaviour
At this moment, yes, so that's why I require you to provide your name and your address.
What makes you think that I'm committing antisocial behaviour?
Basically recording at a police station.
Recording at a police station is not antisocial.
Right, guys, we've been told, and we've had information from the front counter, that people in there waiting to be seen by officers, victims of crime, are feeling harassed
So we're going to go back
by your behaviour at the front counter. Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm telling you what the information is. You've asked me, let me answer.
This is a complete misuse of Section 50, and the officer effectively reveals that through his own explanation. Michael and his friend are not filming victims. They are filming police. Recording a police station from a public place does not become harassment, simply because someone inside the building feels uncomfortable. Harassment requires conduct directed toward an individual, not the passive act of filming a building. Michael is not approaching anyone, following anyone, or interacting with vulnerable people in any way. The suggestion that recording the exterior of a police station somehow amounts to harassment of unseen individuals inside stretches the definition beyond recognition, and it certainly does not meet the legal threshold required to begin demanding personal details. So they're feeling harassed. Okay, so you should go and explain to them. We're going to speak to them. It's not harassment, and you are abusing Section 50 right now. I'm not abusing it. If you require me to provide my name, then you'll have to justify it in court. What is your name? You'll be next. You'll be next. What is your name, sir? What are the details of Section 50?
So, they're feeling harassed, okay.
So you should go and explain to them.
We are going to speak to them in a moment.
It's not harassment, and you are abusing Section 50 right now.
I'm not abusing
Section 50. Yes, you are.
I require you under
West Yorkshire Police are going to court
to provide your name and your address. What is your name, sir?
You'll be next. You'll be next.
What is your name, sir?
What's the details of Section 50 that requires me to give my details? What's the wording of the law?
Uniform is required. You are required to give your name and address to a constable in uniform if we believe you're acting in an antisocial manner.
And what's the belief that we're committing an antisocial behaviour?
The information that has been passed. You're asking me a question. Let me respond.
Okay, so let's have a conversation.
So that is any person that is not in the same household. Okay, I'm quite happy the people that are feeling alarmed are not from your household.
Correct.
So, under that act, as you well pointed out when I turned up, I require you to provide your name and your address.
Also under that same act, you have to have reasonable suspicion that I am committing antisocial behaviour.
So I require, if you fail to provide those details, you can be arrested.
Where's the reasonable suspicion?
Why I'm asking you one more time. Excuse me, I'm not talking to you, sir. I'm asking you one more time to provide your name and your address.
If I'm required to do so,
failure to do so, you can be arrested.
If I'm required to do so by law, then I will. But just before I do, I would like to know what the grounds are that you suspect that I'm committing antisocial behaviour.
I've explained that to you already.
Michael tells the officer directly that the power is being abused, yet instead of reassessing the situation, the officer doubles down. He begins relying on vague phrases such as any person not from the same household being alarmed, as though that alone satisfies the legal requirements. It does not. Section 50 is not triggered simply because someone claims to feel uncomfortable. It requires a genuine public order concern or a properly evidenced risk of one. The threat of arrest is perhaps the clearest indication that this is not about protecting anyone inside the station. It is about securing compliance. Give us your details or face arrest. That is not effective law enforcement. It is coercion. Section 50 becomes a blunt instrument, not to address disorder, but to punish refusal and force cooperation where the legal basis is questionable.
What is your name, please,
No,
sir?
there's no grounds. You don't have grounds.
You don't have grounds.
What is your name?
But out of fear of arrest and threat
I
of
have
violence...
reasonable grounds to suspect, and I've explained that.
No, you don't.
So I am asking you now to provide
You've got to
your
find
name.
yourself in
Out
civil
of
court here,
fear
mate.
of arrest and threat of violence, I will provide you my details.
Right, is
duress.
there anything I can
Under
reasonably
duress.
do for you to provide,
duress
under
is
the
giving
Police
you it.
Reform Act, your name and your address?
You could provide me with reasonable grounds, but like I've just said, under threat of violence, fear...
Definitely threat of violence.
I've explained that.
Fear
I'm going to
and
ask you
duress.
one more time.
let me
for
just
your
finish it
name
and then I will.
your address.
Out of threat of violence, fear and duress, I will give my details under that section unlawfully.
What's your name, please, sir?
I'm
Michael.
going to film every single member of public going in
Mike.
that building now. And we're not
Michael.
gonna do nothing
Michael.
about it.
Michael.
And your last name?
Listen, Michael.
Right, I do apologise because the radio's talking to me here. We've got
You're
cars
quite
pulling
rude
in
to
and
us
out.
though, guys. You've
So,
completely
Michael,
refused
what is your
powers.
last name?
I've just given you it.
I'm asking you again.
Hey, listen, you're really rude.
No, you're rude.
You're
No,
rude,
no,
you're
no,
rude,
no.
because you're abusing section
abusing
50.
powers, mate. You're rude.
We're not the ones that's shouting
Michael.
here.
No, you're
What is
abusing
your
powers,
surname?
mate. You're very rude. You don't
I just
abuse
told you.
police powers.
I'm asking you again because I didn't hear you.
Well, that's your problem, not mine, isn't it?
Michael provides his details for one reason, and one reason only. The officer has backed him into a corner with the threat of arrest. That is not cooperation. It is submission. When a person's liberty is placed at risk, compliance often follows, not because a demand is lawful, but because the alternative is being taken into custody. Then comes a second officer's claim that Michael is being rude. The audacity of that accusation is remarkable. Michael provides a surname. The officer fails to hear it properly, and rather than correcting his own mistake, he reframes Michael as being difficult. That is not accidental. It is narrative control. When officers realize a power may have been stretched beyond its proper limits, attention often shifts to tone, attitude, and behavior. Label someone as rude, awkward, or obstructive, and suddenly the questionable use of Section 50 becomes overshadowed by criticism of the individual's character.
Michael, I'm not playing games. I'm asking you for your surname, please.
I've given you it. Under the section of law that you've stated, I've already given you my surname.
Right, and I couldn't hear you because of the vehicles coming in the gate.
Are you recording?
Right, what is your address, Michael?
Do I have to give my address under
You
that
do,
section?
yes.
I don't know your date of birth.
You never asked me for my date of birth, and I'm not
Don't
required
need
to give my date of birth under that section of law. And this man knows that, that's why I didn't ask.
Guys, you're dismissed. Have a nice day. You are dismissed. We no longer require your services. You're very rude. You came over and abused your powers, talking about antisocial. We're not antisocial. We've been perfectly fine. We've not spoken to one single person. And you know, when I speak to professional standards later, they're going to confirm everything like they always do. All right, I get complaints upheld. We've got 3 civil claims against police forces across the United Kingdom because you're corrupt. Why is there so much police corruption, police abuse? There is, mate.
Why do you always abuse
right,
section
listen,
50?
do you know what, right? Do you know what? You're quite reasonable, you are quite reasonable, mate. The way that you hold yourself and the way that you've been speaking to us, but do you know him? He's a bully boy, him.
How would you feel if people start recording at the station? You know, it's not right. It's not the right thing. So we, like you said, like this like.
Is that in
private
your
people
opinion
come
or in
to-
law? Because in law it says that we can do this, but in your opinion it's that we can't. So you
Exactly,
abuse
yeah.
section 50 because of your opinion, because of your ego, and because of your feelings.
Thank you, there you go, Michael. We act within the boundaries of the law and we know what we're doing.
At this point, the discussion leaves the law behind entirely and moves into personal opinion. How would you feel? It's not the right thing to do. That is not a legal test. It is a moral lecture, and Michael identifies immediately. The law does not ask officers how they would feel if the roles were reversed. It asks whether the conduct in question is lawful. Officers are trained to apply objective standards, reasonable suspicion, identifiable victims, specific offenses, and clear evidence. None of those standards rely on hypothetical feelings or personal discomfort. When officers fall back on questions such as, how would you feel? It is often because they are unable to point to power that genuinely applies. Michael's response matters because it highlights the distinction between what the law permits and what an officer personally wishes members of the public would not do.
said on the beginning of this video, which is going to show, we're at Hull Police Station today, right? And we're going to show you guys today if Hull Police Station want to abuse the powers of the Section 50. And I said that before I even spoke to you guys.
Right, guys, we've got your details, okay?
Yeah, have a nice day. You're dismissed, guys.
Okay, so...
We don't need your advice.
You're dismissed, guys. Thank
no,
you.
your advice is,
you don't
James,
abuse
I'm asking
anybody.
you
Your advice is don't abuse anybody. Don't be brutalising members at public.
Stop abusing Section 50.
Yeah, don't do that, mate, because it happens frequently, alright? And people are scared of that
Certainly
uniform.
don't within this force.
Yes, it does, mate. I would only
so what I'm advising you both, gents, okay, it's words of advice.
Homicide police officers. I would only up here last week reporting on corruption, not homicide police.
I'm off in front office right now, mate. What are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Do you want to do nothing?
Simple words of advice, stay away, because members of the public are feeling harassed.
We don't care, mate. We're not harassing nobody. We're not harassing nobody, mate.
I'm asking you to stay away.
I feel harassed by you now. You're harassing me now.
I don't need your advice, mate. Go away.
If we need to speak to you again, we will do,
Dismiss,
gents.
guys.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day.
We're going to go in front counter now, yeah? After the situation, we did our usual thing and we spoke to H&K solicitors. And H&K solicitors, like in Barton, they dealt with everything. And I got a nice £1,000 payout from Homicide Police. Big up to Lee Freeman. What a legend.
The officers leave believing they have won because they achieved what they wanted in that moment. Names, compliance, and silence. That is often the mistake. Michael does not need the final word on the pavement. He allows the complaints process and the legal system to do the work. The £1,000 award is not dramatic, but it is precise. It serves as a clear acknowledgement that the officer's interpretation of the law could not withstand proper scrutiny. And once again, the financial burden falls nowhere near the individuals responsible. The officers return to duty unchanged, while the public ultimately funds a lesson they refuse to learn on the street. That is why these incidents continue to happen. When the consequences of misusing police powers are absorbed by the force through a faceless payout, there is little incentive to improve decision-making. If even a fraction of these costs carry professional or personal consequences for the officers involved, Section 50 would not be used so casually. What makes this episode particularly noteworthy is not simply the misuse of power, but how routine and casual it appears. There is no emergency, no disorder, and no genuine threat. Just officers comfortable escalating a situation because they assume there will be no consequences. They rely on the expectation that most people will hand over their details and walk away quietly. Michael did not. He allowed the process to run its full course, and when it did, the officer's version of events could not survive outside the street where it was created. Many of you have made the same point in the comments. This continues because the consequences are too weak. I agree. When unlawful conduct results in nothing more than a compensation payment absorbed by the force, there's little pressure for meaningful change. Training is important, but consequences are what change behavior. Until officers understand that the misuse of legal powers can affect their careers, professional standing, and accountability, rather than simply the taxpayer's wallet, these encounters are likely to continue repeating themselves. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support my independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out Now Yorkshire. His channel is linked in the description below. So go and show him some support. Thanks for watching.